Hello traders everywhere, Adam Hewison here, president of iknow.com and co-founder of MarketClub. Welcome to Traders Whiteboard. In today's trading lesson, I will act as your guide and mentor. I'll be sharing with you two of my all-time favorite chart setups. These setups have stood the test of time and are very reliable. In fact, every time I spot one of these formations, I get excited because I know it's like finding a jewel in a gold mine. So let's get started right away. My first favorite chart setup is what I call the Twin Peaks. Here's how it works. A market is rallying and makes a high. That's what I call the first peak. The market then retreats on profit taking or some other news. After a short period of time, the market regroups and puts in a low. The market then rallies and moves to challenge the first peak. Sometimes the market fails to make new highs, while at other times it may notch out a new high by a few ticks. Now here's the key. When the market reverses back down from the first peak, we then have our second peak in place. Here's how you trade the setup. You remember the recent low that the market made after the first peak? Well, that's what we call a pivot point. When the market in question moves below the pivot point, we simply measure from the pivot point to the second twin peak. We then take that number and that measurement and subtract it from the low of the pivot point. The new number then provides us with a downside target for the market. That new number is where the market should reach and where you should be taking profits on this trade. This method of trading is very reliable and can be highly profitable. Not every trade will be profitable. Losses can occur. The Twin Peaks approach will, in my opinion, dramatically put the odds of success in your favor. The Twin Peaks approach works in stocks, futures, precious metals, and forex. After this lesson, take some time for yourself and check out the charts on MarketClub and see how many Twin Peaks setups you can find. Now, let's move on and go to my next favorite chart setup. When a market has been in a downtrend for some time, you may want to be looking for a place to go long. The method I'm about to share with you can spot bottoms, and it works like a charm. I call this one the Twin Valley approach. This approach is very similar to the Twin Peaks, only is in reverse. Once we go over the pivot point between the valleys, we can measure from the low valley on the right side of the pivot point and then add the number to the high of the pivot point. This in turn gives us our target zone on the upside. Both the Twin Peaks and Twin Valley methods are highly reliable, and you should be on the lookout for them. I've shown you how the Twin Peaks and the Twin Valley approach works in theory. Now let's put it to the test with some real-world examples. Let's start off by looking at a Twin Valley that was recently created in the stock of JP Morgan. All I want you to do with this chart is just go with the flow. Don't overthink it. Just go with the flow and the rhythm of the market. You'll be amazed at how easy it is after you get into that rhythm. Now let's look at another Twin Valley example in the real world. This one's Intel. Let's use the same exercise again. Just go with the flow, follow the chart, and get the rhythm of the market. You'll be amazed at how it can help you spot these Twin Valleys in the future. Now let's take a look at the Twin Peaks chart setup in action. We'll start off with spot gold and then take a look at the stock Caterpillar. All I want you to do is visualize and go with the flow. The more you can recognize these setups, the more profits you'll make in the future. Caterpillar is our last example of the Twin Peaks. Just go with the flow, visualize it, measure the move, and look to take those profits at the right time. So let's review what we have learned in today's lesson. 1. How to spot tops using the Twin Peaks method. 2, how to spot market bottoms using the twin valley method. 3, how to measure a move using the pivot point. 4, where to take profits based on the pivot point count. Both of the Twin Peaks and Twin Valley methods are very powerful and can be very profitable. Your goal now is to find Twin Peaks and Twin Valley setups to put to good use. Hopefully you'll have as much success with them as I have had using them over the years. Till next time, I'm Adam Hewison for Traders Whiteboard, wishing you every success in the market. Next time on Traders Whiteboard, 3 key market elements that every investor should know about. You won't want to miss Lesson 3.